Hi everyone, welcome to another Labnote session. In this session, we are going to check some basic firewalling on ASA and the default behavior of ASA when traffic passing through the ASA from various zones. In this lab, we will be checking how ASA will behave when R1 is trying to access R2 via Telnet and same time SSH also, and we'll check how's the reachability, ICMP reachability from R1 to R2. So these are the tasks we are going to perform. Here we have our basic topology with the two routers, router 1 and router 2 and the ASA. We have two zones, inside and outside. Inside is mapped for 10.10.10.0/24 and outside is for 10.20.20.20.0/24 segment. So we need to make some basic routing in order to reach R1 to R2 and at the same time R2 to R1. So let's make some configuration to have basic reachability. So I'm in R1. I have already assigned host name. We'll assign IP address. And we'll bring up the interface. And I have to configure a route. I'll be configuring a default route towards ASA to have reachability to R2. So my ASA address is 10.10.10.100. Let's go to R2. First we'll configure the IP address on interface. First is at 0/0 20.20.20.1/24 subnet mask and bring up the interface. And then need to create a default route towards ASA so that we'll be able to reach R1. So this is the basic thing we'll have to do from the router side. Now bring up the ASA. There's no password. We need to configure interfaces. This is the inside interface, gig 0/1, IP address 10.10.10.100 0. And we need to assign name of interface, which is inside. It has taken security level of 100. Now we need to configure the outside interface, which is 0/0, IP address 20.20.20.100. Name of this interface is outside and it has taken security level of 0. Then bring up the interface. Okay. Now our first task is to check the telnet from R1 to R2. So for that we need to enable telnet on R2 and R1. Line VTY 0 to 4 I'm taking. Password Cisco, login. So the first task what we'll do, we'll check the reachability from R1 to R2. Let's go. Telnet 20.20.1. It's asking for the password Cisco. Yeah, we are able to reach from R1 to R2. Second task is reachability Telnet from R2 to R1. So for that we need to enable Telnet on R1. Line VTY 0 to 4. Password Cisco, login. So do a telnet 10.10.10.1 is the address of R1. Yeah, so we are unable to access from R2 to R1 in clear. From outside zone to inside zone we are unable to access. So to have that we need to permit. So let's go to ASA and configure the ACL. We are in ASA access list 1. Permit TCP host. My source will be R2's IP address. So this is the IP address for R2, and the destination will be R1 and equal to 23. Now we need to call this access list access group 1 inbound, then interface, and R2 is coming from outside, so we need to call that outside. Now let's verify. Yep, it's asking for the password. So now we are able to access from R2 to R1. So we have completed the Telnet verification. Now let's enable SSH and check the same. Username admin, password Cisco, IP domain name cisco.com, crypto key generate RSA modulus 1024. Okay, line VTY 0 to 4. Transport import SSH login local. So it should authenticate locally. Let's enable on R2 also. username admin, password CISCO, IP domain name cisco.com, crypto key, generate RC test 024, line VTY 024, transport input SSH, login local, so it will take the local username and password. Now let's verify what is going to happen. I'm in R1. I'll be checking the SSH access to R2. Admin 20.20.1. It's asking for the password. Yes, I'm able to SSH to R2 from R1, so it's working. How about R2 to R1? Let's verify that. SSH admin 10.10.10.1 is the address for R1. It is not working, so basically it is blocking. We can have a look from ASA also what is happening. I'll just show you. Console debugging. So here we will be able to figure out what is happening. See, it's denying from 20.20.1 to 10.10.10.1. So this is actually denying. Let's enable that. Access list to permit TCP host 20.20.20.1 host 10.10.10.1 equal to port SSH, so 22. Now we need to call this access list access group to inbound direction and interface outside. Yeah, now we will have to verify again. Yes, we are trying from R2 to R1. Yeah, it is asking for the password. Yes, we are able to access it. So basically when we configured access list, ASA started permitting outside traffic to inside zone. So now we need to check the third task, which is ICMP. Let's go to R1 and check 20.20.1. So yeah, this is not working. Why? We'll do a repeat. 500 is enough. We can check from ASA itself. It's telling denied ICMP source 20.20.20.1 to 10.10.1. So basically it's ASA is blocking the ICMP response which is coming from R2 to R1. So if we permit that, we'll be able to ping from R1 to R2. So let's do that. No locking on. So access list 3 permit ICMP from host. R2's address is 20.20.1 to host 10.10.10.1. That's it. We need to call the zone interface where we want access group 3 in bound direction interface outside interface. That's it. So you see that response coming. So this is how we can permit the traffic. So we have tested Telnet, SSH, ICMP. There is one more way actually we can fix up the ICMP also we can do. So I just permitted by using access list. What fix up do is it will modify the policy map to inspect the ICMP on ASA. By default, ASA will not inspect ICMP, so we can add ICMP protocol inspection by doing fix up. So by putting access list also, it will work. So that's it. I hope you have understood the concept here. I would like to thank you for watching.